Howdy everyone, this is Desert Boy here. Got an opportunity today to share with you an unboxing, and the unboxing today is a Sig Sauer, and Sig Sauer, it's always fun to do this. Of course, like most people, this is kind of a re-unboxing because I couldn't wait to get a look at it when I first got it home, but when you do open it up, it's going to look very similar to something like this, where you're going to have your manual, your magazines, a lock, and the weapon there. In this case, this particular one is a P938 by Sig Sauer. One of the nice things about this one is that this P938 happens to be a little different than some of the P938s, and it is a Legion series P938. So your owner's manual, you want to make sure you read this, read it thoroughly, make sure you understand everything about it. Just because it looks similar to one sort of gun, these are single action only, and they look very similar to 1911, but there are some differences in it. So there's some good information always in here, and of course it's from a viewpoint of safety, it's good to be familiar with your firearm and its manual. So I recommend you read that. Set that over here for now. And then of course there's a lock in here for your use, should you choose to use this lock when you do need one. Magazines, let's take a look at the magazines. One of the things that's nice, P938s come in different varieties. Sig has different kinds of models, Equinoxes and different things. Some have 6, some have 7-round mags, some might have both. The Legion series comes with 3 7-round magazines, and in this case, if you like the Legion logo, here you've got the Legion logo on the bottom of the magazines. So each of those is 7 rounds. Take a look at the P938 itself. Of course, you got a little warning there, which we'll talk about for a minute. Chamber flag indicator. It's all wrapped up here in plastic, which will move out of the way here. Just a reminder to you once again, make sure that you read the operating manual. And it's got a customer service number if you have any questions. So chamber flag indicator in here. We'll safety check the weapon. What we want to do here is get the magazine out. Magazine's empty. Okay. So there's your 3 magazines. And then what we want to do is lock the weapon back. Pull our chamber flag indicator out of there. And we'll go ahead and wrap the slide. You can see, weapon's empty. Go ahead and put our safety on, just as a matter of good habit. Down here, we can go ahead and take this off. So we have looked at our manual, and we'll get that out of the way here. And set some of this aside for the moment. And let's take a look at the Sig Sauer P938 Legion. One of the things that might prompt you to wanting this gun, once again, it's a single action only, but as its size, of course, it's would be something that would be very conducive to concealment. As its size is, some of the stats on it are it's got a 3-inch barrel, it's got 5.9-inch overall length, it's got 1.1-inch width. You take it to width, and it's got a height of 4.3 inches. And of course, the magazine's empty. We'll go ahead and put it in there. We've already safety checked it, and it's 17 ounces. So, one other thing about it? It's got the gray Legion gray Cerakote. It's got G10 grips with the Legion logo. One of the things nice about this weapon is it has a metal mag well on here that's extended mag well. It makes it good to get a good positive insert of the mag into it. It's got front and rear serrations on here. So we'll pull that down. Got that. Serrations here as well. Magazine releases here. The safety in this case, which I can see I've been have to do a little work on getting used to, is ambidextrous. Just to demonstrate to you, it is ambidextrous. There, it's got the safety on the other side here as well. So you put the safety on or off from either direction. One thing that's really nice about this particular weapon, it has what they call their X-ray 3 day and night sights. Seeing the X-ray 3 day and night sights there. It's pretty easy to see in the daytime, that front sight. Of course, being night sights, it's useful for when you got darkness. And I know some of my other SIGs have had just a tritium night sights, and they've been pretty good. If you notice, the gun has also got a lot of elements to it that allows it to not snag on anything. It's very rounded. It's got a little bit of a place here where it comes up so that your finger fits in there nicely. As big as my hands are, they can get on here pretty good. It does have a relatively flat trigger. It's aluminum, so it's a metal trigger. And one of the things also, it's got some nice stippling here, and it has some on the rear as well for your benefit. Other places on the top, there's another Legion logo there. And once again, it does not have a grip safety, which many of you might be used to. You look at it and say, well, it's like a 1911. Well, it is very similar to most 1911s, but it does not have a grip safety, though it does have a beaver tail and the standard safety, once again, single action only with this particular weapon, this particular handgun. A couple other things about it. Trigger pull is pretty nice on it. I don't have any Lyman trigger gauge or something to really let you know about what that is. You might have to look that up on some other online, or talk to some other folks about it. If I get that information, I'll share it with you. Let's go ahead once again and let's kind of take a look at the trigger pull. Check the trigger pull on here. Safety's off. Go ahead and do that. Release that. If you look at the trigger as I release it, there's your reset. Go ahead and pull it once again, of course, and then you got your, once again, make the weapon safe. Lay it down there. So I just give you maybe a feel for a little bit of the trigger pull. It could be used as a backup. It could be used mainly for concealment. Once again, it's about 17 ounces. So it's relatively small. So that's really what it's intended for. What maybe is a gun that compares as far as weight and size for concealment. If you were looking at something like that. Here is a Ruger LCR, which we'll check. Ruger's empty. It also is about 17 ounces. So you can see they're maybe a little similar. Whereas the Ruger's maybe a little bit wider. This has 7 rounds, this has 5 rounds. So it just depends. You know, they both have advantages and disadvantages. Just kind of depends your situation. This one's probably just a little bit smaller overall. So just something to think about. Other than that, I think that as far as price goes, the price point on this one was, it varies. You know, online I think it's something like $900 or something. If you look at the SIG website, I think at your local dealers you can probably get it for somewhere around the 700 or under price range. And of course, you know, having the 3 mags is kind of nice. So haven't had it out to the range yet. That's what we'll be doing, taking it out to the range next. And we'll do a little more breaking it down. A couple things to know about this inside of here when we get back from the range and we do take it apart is that you notice it doesn't have like a bushing and so forth like a 1911. It works pretty standard, you know, where you pull the slide back and you line it up where you push the pin out, slide the slide forward and so forth. Once you get it off of there, like I said, it doesn't have the bushing. Your spring is in there. It's got a spring that's captured, but when you go to take it out, it's more like how your double action onlys and so forth are, where the spring is going to be under a lot of tension to take it out, so you have to be careful of it. One other thing that's also important to note with this particular firearm is that it has an extractor back here that when you go to put the slide back on, and we'll look at this more closely and I go to take it apart after I've had it to the range, is that there's a little extractor back here that you got to make sure you push down just enough but not too much. So just a couple things to note. You don't want to not push it down. You pull it back because you damage it, but you also don't want to push it down too far. That's some of the information that's in the manual. That's why it's important that you take the time to read that. Hope this has been helpful today. I'm looking forward to seeing what this is like at the range, and I'll tack on another little video here at the end of this one, maybe comparing it with a full size, just so you can kind of get a feel for what it looks like up against other autos. This is actually called a micro compact. So you know, you got full size, you got compacts, sometimes subcompacts. This is known as a micro compact. It's 9mm, if I didn't say that. So 9mm. Some of you may be familiar with the P938. It's a 380, but this one is a 9mm. So, okay, well, I hope that was helpful. Be safe out there. And once again, get back from the range. We'll talk a little more about it and see how it went out there. And I think I'll take one of my other SIGs maybe to compare it with. Once again, this is Free Desert Boy, kind of new to this. I'm just a hobbyist and enthusiast and no expert, but I just wanted to take time to share, you know, anything I could with you about one of these if you're in the market for one. Thank you very much. Once again, be safe and have a great day out there.